His new owner was a sailor, short and absurdly stocky, not fat, but solid. His thick arms ended in wide, hairy paws. His barrel torso sat atop column-like legs. His round, fleshy face was ruddy and lined with a stubby nose, thick stubble, and a short-stemmed pipe. He looked like a cartoon character. His sailor's uniform was strikingly clean: white cotton trousers, blue blouse, and a round sailor hat with a ribbon. He puffed calmly on his little pipe.
Off the straw! Let's go!
His Majesty obeyed with aching limbs. They were on the deck of a barge. The dark sea whispered around them. Off in the distance, blinking lights pierced the fog. Singapore Harbor, where he'd arrived on the Honolulu Star.
Who are you?
A flash of insight. All this suffering stemmed from his stubborn insistence that he was St. Antonio. Perhaps it was time to try a new tactic.
My name's Pedro.
Listen here, Pedro. I recruit crew for certain ships. They go on long hauls, the food's not terrible, and if things go well, you might even get paid. They run opium and guns to remote islands. You'll sign a contract and start work tomorrow.
I've been tricked. I never signed anything.
So you're not signing now?
No,
Then I'll have to beat you.
The sea's unending whisper underscored the tension like eerie background music. Tulip slowly stood and looked around for something to hit him with.
wait. I've just come from Batavia. I bring an urgent message to the Singapore clubs.
He racked his brain, recalling what Fulig Jimmy had taught him to memorize from the notebook on their journey aboard the Honolulu Star.
What did you say?
A message for Big Buffalo, Marrow, Spiky Vanek, and Dirty Fred.
That did it. Tulip removed his pipe and stepped closer. At last, His Majesty had named people who commanded some respect around here. Mentioning the King of England had gotten him nowhere.
You know Big Buffalo?
Yes, I do. Through my father, I'm a member of the Loyal Apples Club.
Now they looked at him differently, as if a real prince had just cast off his disguise. All it took was dropping the names of a few notorious bandits.
That damn rabbits. Selling me this kind of goods for $2.50? Come on then. But if you're lying,
I'm not lying.
you'd better not be. Otherwise, you'll be on that shit and I'll be $2.50 sure.
Take me to Big Buffalo.
Maybe he could escape en route. Besides, a ruler must never retreat.
Come on.
One flick, and the light was gone. A thick hand clamped onto his arm, tighter than a wrench. A bitter, fishy sea breeze washed over him as they crossed the deck. The tide slapped gently at the hull. Spray touched his face as they reached the stern.
There's a plank ahead leading to shore. Follow carefully. Fall between the boat and the dock, and no one will fish you out.
They stepped onto the sloped, narrow board and walked steadily to land. Tulip seized his arm again. Pitch black.
Last chance to change your mind.
Lead on.
They moved swiftly. Tulip knew the path even in darkness. Suddenly, a light appeared behind a hill. Someone played the zither. People were singing.
Wait a moment. My heart.
Yeah,
My heart.
Fumbling at his chest, where the strap was, just like Fulig Jimmy taught him. The loop, now on his finger, now taut across his fist. And with all his strength he whipped the club forward, straight to the head. Crack! Tulip froze like nothing had happened. Then his mouth slackened, his eyes bulged. One more blow, just to be thorough. Tulip hit the ground with a thud. His Majesty ran. Jimmy had been right. There's no better reference around here than a well-placed hit to the head. Suddenly, he hit the ground hard. Someone had tripped him in the dark. Strange shadows loomed around him.
Who are you?
Pedro.
He could make out 4 dark figures.
Where to?
I'm looking for Spiky Vanek and Big Buffalo.
Why?
We were smuggling. I'm a member of the Loyal Apples Club, and I know Marrow well.
You sure about that?
Yes, take me to him.
No need. I am Marrow.
Uh-oh, that's bad. But he reacted instantly. He knew the line by heart.
A buddy from Batavia sent word. Get lost quick. Hobo fishes out.
Really now? Seems you know a lot about my business. But why did you say you knew me?
So I could deliver the message.
Sounds fishy. As for Hobo Fisher, I'm not scared of that clown.
You're coming with us.
And he went. He couldn't take on 4 guys. No chance of running either. Fate had caught up. They led him to a small inlet, climbed into a rowboat, and paddled until they reached a high cliffside. There, in front of a burrow-like opening, they stopped. As he stepped inside, the heavy, moldy stench of damp soil surrounded him. And in that moment, the prince wasn't sure if he'd ever see the stars again. They led him for what felt like forever, down winding tunnels that twisted and turned like intestines. In the distance, he heard a strange murmur. The sound grew louder until a faint glow appeared at the end of a bend. They emerged into a vaulted cavern, lit dimly by lanterns. Crude stone columns jutted from the floor like fossilized tree trunks. From this massive chamber, tunnels branched off, some hidden behind wooden doors. In the center, a big table cobbled together from dozens of planks. Around it sat shady characters, smoking, drinking schnapps, playing dice. This wasn't the main club yet. This was just the lobby. A hangout for vagabonds who weren't yet official members, but were being considered.
Hey, Porter Rob.
Out of the shadows stepped an elderly tramp, dressed in rags but proudly wearing a pristine hotel doorman's cap that read, Grand Oriental Hotel. He wore it with pride. He didn't care for clothes or hygiene, but every week he stole a fresh cap, ideally from the fanciest hotels.
What's up?
This guy brought a message. He was in prison with Fulig Jimmy.
Where?
Batavia.
The old man turned to him. They called him Porter Rob because he checked who came in and out. He knew every jail in the world, from personal experience.
You did time in Batavia?
Yes.
What color are the hallway walls?
The prince's brain fired like lightning. Jimmy had drilled this into him.
Green oil paint, light trim. Warden's office is to the right, cross hallway to the left.
And below that, work yard access. The kid's all right.
Thanks to Fulig Jimmy, he passed. Marrow and the others gave him a few approving glances. Even in the underworld, it helped to have a documented past. They headed down a wide tunnel. To the right, in a nook, sat the cloakroom attendant, guarding parcels left by members. Most of them were tools of some sort. A sign above read, The management takes no responsibility for items stored in the cloakroom. Even more eye-catching was a notice above the entrance to the underground. Attention bringing in firearms, blackjacks, knives, brass knuckles, or any deadly weapon is strongly recommended. Entering unarmed is forbidden and extremely dangerous. The management accepts no liability for resulting injuries. Each burrowed-out clubroom along the corridor had its own wooden door and its own quirky sign. For example, the world belongs to pickpockets. Honest Finders Association Lost and Found Department. The prince began to forget all his troubles, both mental and physical.
What's that one?
Old Sailors Association. They've all attended the Seafarers' Banquet.
The what?
Well, sometimes a lifeboat's adrift for too long. Food runs out. They draw lots. And, well, sometimes someone becomes dinner.
The door to that club said, Dietetic Old Boys Tarot. club members of the main club strictly forbidden from entry.
They decide membership by blackballing. If you're morally spotless, you're a regular member and can't enter. If you get blackballed, you're welcome anytime.
The criminal underworld loved mocking the high society that rejected them. Drunken members occasionally staggered through. From behind, some doors came the clatter of cards and the jingle of coins.
Where are you taking me?
To the pardoned one.
Are there pardoned gentlemen in this place?
I think there are 4 left alive. You can only join that club if you were granted clemency before execution, maybe for a royal birthday or Christmas.
Being a pardoned one was a rare stroke of luck. Even here,
That's their door.
there is a cure for death, the circle of the pardoned. Marrow knocked.
Come in.
With some elbow and knee work, they shoved the door, a simple plank, out of the way. What greeted the prince inside was astonishing. The room was essentially an office. A large American-style desk stood at the back, flanked by a cabinet and 2 battered armchairs. But the real showstopper was the pardoned gentleman himself. A dignified-looking old man with silver hair, owl-eyed spectacles, an English mustache, and a high forehead. A ring on his finger, a watch in his vest, a fine silk tie with a pin. His cool blue eyes wouldn't have looked out of place at a League of Nations summit, and hanging on a hook behind him, a pristine morning coat and a gray top hat. He was writing something and looked up as Marrow entered with the prince. The rest of the group waited respectfully outside.
Well then, what is it?
This man claims to know Big Buffalo well.
Name.
Pedro.
And who are you?
Fulick Jimmy's brother.
And you know Big Buffalo?
And I bring a message for Spiky Van Eck, too.
The gentleman studied him in silence.
If all that's true, then why did you knock out Tulip?
From behind the cabinet, Tulip stepped out, his head bandaged. The room fell quiet as they began to close in on the prince. To be continued.